distant galaxy, the planet Galaluna lies in ruin.
You'll pay for this, I swear it.
Its only hope for a future, forced into exile on a tiny backwater world called Earth.
This is to be our new home.
Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Reggie here, back with you for another video, and I'm thinking about starting a series here on this channel focused on cartoons and anime that I think are forgotten gems. Now, when I say forgotten gems, I'm talking about anime or cartoons that ended long before their time, maybe had only a season or two, and then got canceled right when they were about to get into their real story. And in today's discussion, I want to talk about a cartoon that I felt was ahead of its time. Was fantastic with its action, its storytelling, and the progression of the characters, and that is Sym-Bionic Titan. Now, to provide a little bit of backstory of Sym-Bionic Titan, it was a one-season, 20-episode series that was created by a couple of pretty talented people. Their names are Brian Andrews, Paul Ruddish, and Gendry Tartakovsky. These creators are the ones who are responsible for creating some of the most legendary cartoons, such as Samurai Jack and Dexter's Laboratory. Sym-Bionic Titan was an amazing show. It was pretty much focused around giant robots fighting alien monsters episode by episode. It was an amazing series that was a combination of Power Rangers, Gundam, and Voltron all in one. But beyond the giant robot fights, it was actually something that was very touching. The story plots were amazing. The progression of the characters was the most entertaining piece of it. Not to mention stunning visuals and amazing action. Now, Sym-Bionic Titan is basically about these three characters, Lance, Alana, and Octus, being aliens having to escape their home world and coming to Earth and using their fantastic abilities to protect us from these giant alien monsters. Sound familiar? This story is pretty much focused around these three characters. Alana being the princess of the homeworld Galaluna. Galaluna was invaded by, ironically, other aliens, and then she, Lance, and Octus had to escape the planet and go to Earth. Now, Lance being one of the most strong and capable members of the army, and then Octus being their robot companion who was made to help them assimilate to Earth's customs. Now, the most amazing part of this show is not even the fact of the aliens or the fighting, it's the inner workings between the characters, how they grow from being a very classic fish out of water trope, throwing them in high school, having to deal with popular kids, athletes, nerds, and then bringing them together to learn how they grow and become better people. Sym-Bionic Titan, what it does is that it takes the heart, Alana, the body, Lance, and the mind, Octus, and basically form them together to create the Titan. If you ever saw the movie Pacific Rim, then you're gonna love Sym-Bionic Titan. Now, as this series was made and produced around 2010, it is one of the first shows that was ever able to blend 3D and 2D images in the same scene. It's actually very beautiful, where you'll have certain fight scenes, the Titan flying through the sky, rockets coming out of nowhere, and it's 3D, but also meshes well with the 2D, where you're pausing and looking at the screen like, whoa, is this 3D? The way that the show would blend the light and dark colors was really able to amplify a scene, whether it be light, whether the tone be dark. They weren't afraid to use shadows, and even in the more emotional scenes, they weren't afraid to just take out the music, any of the sound, and just give us complete and utter silence, really being able to emphasize a scene. Beyond just the scenery of the show, what really takes it to the next level is the characters within them. You have Lance being the closed-off, brutish character. You have Alana being the happy-go-lucky character who's really just homesick. And then you have Octus being sometimes a mediator between the two, but really being able to understand humans and start to create his own personality through witnessing, observing, and collecting information. Ironically, Octus is the one who conforms to human life the easiest just because of his personality. He actually doesn't care what people think about him. he is who he is, and it doesn't matter to him whether people like him or don't like him, he stays the same. And it's really something that shows off within his personality. One of the reasons why I love Sym-Bionic Titan so much, and I think it's a forgotten gem, is because they do something that I think a lot of shows, whether it be cartoons or anime, does a lot when it comes to the viewing audience, and that is they talk down to their audience. Oftentimes when we grow up and become adults, we feel like because we understand the world better than children, that they are just completely oblivious and they're not able to understand certain themes or concepts. Sym-Bionic Titan does not talk down to their audience. They treat the children like intelligent adults. They follows a very specific story structure where you need to pay attention to understand what happens from episode to episode. They face very difficult concepts such as pain, loss, regret, death on multiple occasions, and even certain things like where the characters start to fall in love with some other characters, but still treating the children like they are adults and smart adults who can understand certain themes and concepts. And this is something that I love about Sym-Bionic Titan and other similar shows, when they don't talk down to their audience. As Lance, Alana, and Octus, they're basically alien refugees coming from another world. Oftentimes when it comes to media like this, they spend a lot of time focusing on how the characters are assimilating to Earth and the new customs and how things work here, and oftentimes forget to show us what's happening on their home planet. Sym-Bionic Titan does not do this. It often flashes back and forth between what's happening on Earth and what's happening on Gallaluna, and oftentimes throughout certain episodes, you're even way more focused on what's going on Gallaluna because they're in the middle of war trying to fight back, while the main villain is sending aliens to go to Earth to try and capture Alana, capture Lance, capture Octus, or even worse, kill them. You're also seeing what's happening on their planet, seeing how it's affecting the king, his subjects, and oftentimes even see the king being tortured. This show does not talk down to their audience and really shows them the effects of war and the trauma that it can incur on their loved ones. This show was amazing, and I highly suggest for anyone to watch it. The reason why, unfortunately, it's a forgotten gem is because it got canceled after 20 episodes. The reason why it was canceled was due to inadequate promotion, and possibly the reason why almost every amazing show is canceled: toys. Unfortunately, due to the promotion and the block which it was in, which was later at night, not enough children saw the show, and because of that, not enough toys were being sold. And just like most cartoons back in the 2010s, toys were everything. So if the toys didn't sell, the show wasn't gonna continue. And that's really sad, because Sym-Bionic Titan's creators said that they were surprised when the show was gonna be canceled, and they were actually in the middle of having 10 more episodes to really go from what the first season let off on. We had a lot of unresolved mysteries, such as the mystery to Lance's dad, what was happening on Gallaluna, who was the main bad guys of the show, as well as the different mysteries that were happening on Earth, such as this mysterious agent who was sometimes a protagonist and also antagonist to Lance, Alana, and Octus. It was really unfortunate that the show got canceled. Fortunately enough, all hope isn't lost. So in 2013-2014, Sym-Bionic Titan was put on Netflix and then got a resurgence of fans and people talking about how much they loved it. So there was actually rumors that the show possibly may be coming back for a second season to finish off where the first season left. Now, creators Gendry, Brian, and Paul have all expressed that they would love to come back to finish off the show. Unfortunately, they would just need certain funding. So us, the fans, the lovers of Sym-Bionic Titan, need to really talk about the show and push it as much as possible, so hopefully the execs from whether it be Cartoon Network, Warner Brothers, or even Netflix can see us talking about how much we want a second season and provide them with the funding to do so. Sym-Bionic Titan was really ahead of its time. Not only just blending 3D with 2D, which oftentimes shows do that don't look that great, not only having an amazing premise and amazing characters that work well with each other and combine and provide certain views and depictions of things that aren't normally shown within a kid's show. It was just a beautifully drawn and fantastic with action, mystery, the way that the music was done. It was truly a fantastic show that was ahead of its time, and that's why I'm considering it a forgotten gem. So other than that, I appreciate you watching this video, and peace.